Thanks for joining us for 9 News at noon. I'm Sam Shocker. Budget cuts to the city have left some holes in the Denver Police Department. Chief Ron Thomas says many of the key civilian roles are empty. 9 News reporter Janelle Finch has more from DPD headquarters.
We know much of the work in these roles isn't easy. Department leaders say the difficult job and workload may be contributing to turnover in some of these positions. Chief Ron Thomas says the department is facing shortages in the crime lab, records bureau, and fleet garage. The crime lab is mostly lacking crime scene investigators, meaning officers sometimes have to collect evidence themselves. He says fleet technician shortages are sometimes forcing 2 officers to share 1 car because there aren't enough working. The bureau that handles background checks and arrest records is also thin. Thomas says lower staffing levels here could have dangerous consequences.
I think our greatest concern actually is with records ID, in that we're not able to ID someone fast enough prior to their release. And so, the concern there would be, releasing someone that may have, a serious warrant for their arrest and releasing them back out into the community.
Though there is the potential concern of staffing shortages leading to warrants not being checked in on time and people being released from custody, Thomas tells 9 News that he's confident this hasn't happened yet. In Denver, Janelle Finch, 9 News.
All right, Janelle, thank you. 2 people have been arrested for a deadly shooting that happened after an alleged hit-and-run crash Saturday night. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says that Stephen Simpson followed a truck that hit his car and another one near Santa Fe and Bellevue, but did not stop. Simpson's wife, Corinne, was in the car with him as they followed the truck and called police. They were told to stop following the truck, but authorities say they did not. Instead, investigators say Stephen was heard on the 911 call, making a threat before the sound of 2 gunshots. According to the sheriff's office, at least one of those shots hit the passenger of the truck, Andre Bott, in the head. He died at the hospital. Simpson faces a first-degree murder charge. His wife is accused of being an accessory to a crime. Yesterday's storms caused more flash flooding in burn scar areas. US 550 between Ouray and the Silverton area is closed because of the mudslides. If you can see there, it's quite a mess. Evacuations orders were issued for people between Ouray and Ridgeway, but those have since been lifted. And also, the town of Beulah saw flash flooding again last night. Crews are now cleaning up after debris flows swept through the Aspen Acres burn scar, leaving behind a muddy mess. We'll have an update on the Aspen Acres fire in just a bit, but first, let's get right to your forecast. So joining me now, Chris Bianchi with our 9 News Weather Impact team. Chris, here in the metro area, we are supposed to stay dry, but what about those areas that are just had some flooding?
Yeah, Sam, I think a little good news for those areas that were so hard hit yesterday. Specifically, we're just talking about the Gold Mountain and the Aspen Acres burn scars. I think today is going to be notably drier in both those spots. That said, even a brief shower or storm could trigger more mudslides. So I would avoid those burn scar areas. Really here in general, the Willow fire also had a flash flood warning last night, so worth noting that as well. So just avoid those burn scar areas. But again, the forecast, I think we need a break from some of the monsoon moisture in some of the burn scar areas, and it looks like we get that today and over the next few days. Lookout Mountain, things pretty calm. In fact, pretty calm statewide right now. Maybe first a little shower going up there in western Larimer County, but otherwise things fairly calm right now. That will change over the next hour or so. But again, compared to yesterday and the rest of the week, our coverage a lot more isolated this afternoon with those showers and storms, mainly between now and about 6 p.m. 1 or 2 of you will see a storm. Better chance, though, for storms tomorrow, including the risk for a few stronger storms along the I-25 corridor. I'll detail that for you in just a few minutes.
All right, Chris, thank you. The recent rain has helped fire crews battling the Aspen Acres fire. Containment was holding steady at 61% for more than a week, but now it is up to 66%. The fire has burned more than 100,000 acres across Pueblo and Custer counties since it began a month ago. And adding to their problems, people in the town of Beulah now have no running water. When the Aspen Acres fire destroyed homes, it opened up the water taps to the elements. Water ran out and ash went in. Now some areas are under bottled water advisories, which is a step further than a boil water notice.
The state has given us a series of tests and cleanings and various things that we have to do before we can get up and provide water again, even in ideal conditions, and we are not facing ideal conditions.
There's no date on when it will be fixed because it will take a lot of time and money. Aurora Fire Rescue is arriving back home right now after helping fight the Willow Fire near Leadville, which started more than 30 days ago. The fire has burned over 7,000 acres, but is now at 66% containment. We'll have more on the fire team's return this afternoon. The U.S. Department of Education says it is investigating Denver Public Schools over a classroom assignment where a teacher allegedly required same-sex students to kiss. In its press release, the federal government did not identify the school where the incident took place, but there is only one recent, quote, same-gender kissing case out of Denver that received widespread media attention. According to our partners at the Denver Gazette, DPS fired the teacher in May. The incident was first reported early last year. Students said they felt pressured during classroom skits that included kissing scenarios. The teacher did not literally force students to kiss, but she had a classroom policy of, quote, the answer is always yes. A report found her actions amounted to incompetence and neglect of duty. The U.S. Department of Education also began investigating Jefferson County schools over Title IX violations last year, saying the district let transgender students use school facilities and play on sports teams that align with their gender identity. Now the Trump administration is threatening to withhold millions in school funding, so Jeffco's fighting back with a lawsuit. The school district's attorney says he believes Jeffco's following state law.
Like the basis of the Department of Education's finding was an executive order, and executive orders are not the law.
The district says changing its policies and following the administration's demands would violate Colorado's anti-discrimination law.